Alright, hey guys, today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and setup of the Marineland MagnaFlow 220 canister filter. I bought this at PetSmart online for $44. Bought it online, picked it up in store, 44 bucks. Can't beat it. It does 220 gallons per hour for up to a 55-gallon tank. I'm using it on a 36-gallon goldfish tank, so I think it will be good. And as you can see at PetSmart, right down there, only at PetSmart, and it has the first maintenance pack included. So let's go ahead and get to the setup and unboxing. We'll start by just opening it up. Actually, first I'll show you kind of the filter media. So here's the 4 layers. So here's the 4 layers of filtration. We have mechanical filtration, chemical filtration, biological filtration, and the water polishing, which it all includes. So now we'll just go ahead and open it up. Right here on top, first thing we get is the parts diagram, so you don't so if you have missing parts, you can contact them. It also has the model numbers and what parts are included, like the actual part number, so if you do need replacements, you can go ahead and tell Marineland what you need. You get the filter itself. Obviously we'll set this aside and get into that later. Then you just have all your fittings in this box. Your hoses and all of that will also be in here. We'll go ahead and open this up first. Right on top, we have our little fine polishing pad. Not very big, we'll say that. You have your starter list, your start here, your quick start guide. We have 2 things of hosing. I don't know how big these are, but we have them. We have 2 packages of carbon right here. And then we have our inflow, our input, our output, all that jazz. We have our intake pipe, not an outflow pipe, our intake pipe, and our little quick disconnect right here. You'll also get a pack of 2 O-rings. Now let's move into the canister body itself. So first thing we have is a little piece of paper talking about the rubber O-ring. Pretty simple. Here is that rubber O-ring right here. We'll go ahead and set this aside. We will need to install this. And then we'll go ahead and break open the canister itself. So here is the canister filter. Pretty basic. You have your quick prime right here. This will help you prime it. Actually very difficult to push down. So that's your prime right there. We have your 2 ports right here, your inlet and outlet, which the quick disconnect will plug into. To open it up, we just pull up these flaps on the 4 sides, like so. We'll remove the lid. This is where we're gonna need to install our gasket. And then aside from the carbon and the water polishing pad, which I believe this is this part right here, this is the maintenance pack, exclusive to PetSmart, as an extra polishing pad, 2 extra bags of carbon. In the filter itself, you have a little mesh grate to separate the media from the pump. Our first basket contains another water polishing pad, aside from our other one, as well as some bio rings right here. Good biological media, definitely will use those. Next up, we have bio balls right here. Once again, nice little biological media. It's nice that they include all this media. And then the other tray, we have some carbon, more carbon. And then at the very bottom, we have a nice coarse, 2 of them actually, 2 coarse polishing pads, not polishing pads, mechanical filtration or polishing pads on the top. So that is pretty much it for the unboxing. So first thing I'm going to do is hook up all the hoses to the intake as well as the little aqua stop valve. So a quick thing is there are O-rings right here at the end of each of these. There are 2 right here. And you also get some extra O-rings. So these you can just keep on hand in case you lose one on here. There are some extras. So we're going to start off by attaching the intake, which is right here. The strainer just clips onto the end, like so. Now all we have to do is take one of our pieces of hosing. These are very rigid, by the way. If I had one thing I don't like about this filter so far, is that these hoses are so rigid. But anyway, I'm going to take this end of the hose, and I'm going to dip it in some very hot water from this Yeti right here. And this is just going to help soften up the material and help make it more pliable to put on the intake valve, or the intake assembly, like so. Now I'm just going to go ahead and push it onto this, and there's a little line that you have to push it up to. There's a little ridge right here, So that's how you know when to stop. Then we're going to take one of these clips right here. I'm just going to go ahead and clip the hosing onto the valve to make sure it's tight. We're going to do the exact same thing for the output, and then I'm going to go ahead and hang these on the tank and use the included suction cups to mount them. So now that I got the intake and output hoses, run through the stand, I'm basically going to take the intake right here, loosen it up with the hot water, and then push it onto the inside, which is right here, where it says in at the top, and then screw the lock nut on to tighten them. And then I'm going to close the valves as they already are to make sure no water flows, and then I'm going to start aquascaping the tank, and we'll set up the filter once the tank's set up. So the tank is currently filling up, so let's get to setting up the filter. So here's what I have in the filter so far. I just have the coarse foam at the bottom, and if you can see, there are arrows right here. They're super, super tiny, and those arrows need to align with the arrow on the media tray, which is right there, so you know which way to put in your trays. So my first tray is going to be that mechanical filtration. My next tray is going to be one thing of carbon. It normally has you use two, but I'm only going to use one. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse this out in the sink. And then right next to that in the same tray, so the carbon will be here, I'm going to put all the old filter media from the hang on back filter, so it's already seeded with that good bacteria. Wash the carbon. Just going to put that right in there. Now I didn't wash anything with soap. You never want to use soap in your aquarium. This was just tap water. There's the carbon. Now I'm going to take this pitcher that I put all the old filter media in and just take it and take all the stuff out of it, like these bio rings, and just put everything in this basket from the old filter. Alright, so right here is my second tray. I'm going to go ahead and put it into the filter, making sure that this tube right here lines up with the other tube that's already in the filter. Making sure the arrows line up as well. Now we're on to our third tray. So our third tray is going to be these plastic bio balls with this sponge that I have from my old filter still left right here on the bottom. Just to once again seed with some good bacteria. I'm going to go ahead and dump all these bio balls out, which are just tiny little porous balls for good bacteria to grow in. And I'm going to put it in the filter the same way, just sliding it down on top of the others. And then last but not least, we are going to do these ceramic rings. Just going to dump those into the top basket, and then we'll put the polishing pad on top. So this is going to be our last tray. We'll go ahead and put it in the filter like so. And that is pretty much it. We're going to go ahead and take our little media holder right here. Once again, line up the arrows and just push that in. And that's just going to keep our media away from our impeller. I already have the O-ring installed around the rim right here. You're just going to take the O-ring and put it simply in there. Now to speed up priming, I'm going to fill it up with some dechlorinated water. We'll stick the top on and we'll get it under the aquarium stand. Alright, so the tank is full of water and the canister filter is about 3/4 of the way full. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. I can't do it from that direction. I've got to scoot the canister over a little bit. I did trim the hoses so they'd be a little bit more easy to manage. So I went ahead and put it in. I'm going to turn the little key thingy to lock it down, start the flow like that, and now I'm just going to go ahead and push this button, which should start water coming down from the aquarium into the filter. So after a lot of pumping, I think the canister is full. So now let's go ahead and plug it in and see what happens. So we went ahead and plugged the filter in. It is a bit later now, and as you can see, the tank looks great, the filter is working great. And I'm really, really happy with this Marineland canister filter. This is my first Marineland canister filter. I've always used fluval canister filters. That's just what I've always done. That's what I've always had. I have 3 of them right now. 2 of them are in use, but the other one isn't really working right. It needs new hoses and stuff. So I thought for 44 bucks, I'd go ahead and try it out, and I highly, highly recommend this filter. I would not pay the $150 for it, but if you can find it on sale, I think it's a really good filter. It's super, super quiet. I cannot hear it running at all. Even when I'm right next to the stand, it's dead silent. So I would really recommend this filter. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.